there we are. Hello everyone, I'm back. So quick thing, I made a brief quick stop back to Altus Plateau in the main game because I realized that I really needed the, how do you call it, the shrimp thing, the prawn. But unfortunately for me, I really missed out on Boggart. So I couldn't get his quest at all, and I missed out on getting that buff. And I realized I really need that buff if I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility with the bosses in this DLC. But anyways, I went back. Now here I am in whatever it's called. So this is gonna be the first recording that I'm doing that's like really like a playback. Because that time when I was recording the footage, I could not even speak on the microphone. So at best, all I had was just to record the footage. And so now I'm doing a playback on it. But one thing that I realized during my last boss fight is that I really need help with the quest. Here I am in Shadowkeep. The thing about this DLC is that it's very rewarding if you're doing things correctly, as you should be. So you have to go around and like do the main quest, talk to NPCs, you know, RPG stuff like that. Because if you don't, then you really miss out on some, you know, valuable content and rewards. And one of the reasons why I'm in this dungeon right now is because I'm trying to find that one. I'm doing the quest for that one lady that you are able to summon during the Mesmer fight. So in my next video, you're gonna see me fighting Mesmer. So that's why I'm doing this dungeon right now, kind of in a way backtracking and getting this dungeon done, so I could unlock that summon for the boss fight. Because Mesmer is gonna be a doozy, but right now you can see me, I'm trying to like navigate around this like watery area. It's very awesome. I really love this whole area, the whole logs, and that did startle me when I was walking by. I just paid no mind. I was on the quest, guys. I was on the quest to find that NPC quest and get that summon by any means necessary, because the bosses in this DLC are very punishing, and you're gonna need all the help that you can get. So right now, yeah, you know, I'm listening to a lot of water splashing around, and I'm just like trying to figure out my way through, but I'm not like really exactly sure which way I'm supposed to go. So I'm thinking I was planning to jump across, but it's a dead end, so I have to backtrack. So this whole time I'm wondering what the heck is going on with the water, and like at this point in the DLC, it's either run or don't survive. If you're passing through the dungeons, just run to the grace point and then go back and, you know, take your time. Or if you have the time, you know, fight all the enemies in the first round. But when you're doing this, well, check it out. There it is. Could you see it? There's this like ominous creature in the water, and that is really cool because I was not expecting this. Like my mind was kind of blown at the point because I didn't know FromSoft could get any cooler, and like doing things that you don't even see in the base game. It's just so ominous, so terrifying. This game just keeps, you know, amping up your stress levels in a way, but in a good way, because you're always like at the edge of like you're not the main character, and you have to earn your place to the top, because everything is really terrifying. So as you see right now, I'm just jumping around the rooftops, trying to find my way to the actual area that I'm supposed to be in. I will say that these guys get really annoying because they don't always stagger when you swing at them, especially when they're launching their flame. They just stand there and take the hits without any recoil. There's that fish again. I have no idea if anybody has ever gotten killed by that fish. That's I'm not gonna test that out. I'm not gonna be the first to find out. That's for sure. So this part was actually really tricky because I actually got lost and I had no idea what was going on. It felt like I reached 2 dead ends and the fish was just like swirling around. I felt like I was running out of time. So no matter which way I went, I always found like a dead end, surrounded by water. And in a Dark Souls game, that water is the water of death. Yeah, you see that wall over there. That's the wall of death. You see that water? That's the water of death. Yeah, you see that mountain? That's a mountain of death. So I gave a quick I made a quick jump out of curiosity, and it actually got me across this little thing, which I didn't really know it was part of the story because I thought it was just like a hidden area, but it's actually part of the dungeon that you have to jump across. So very obscure in like level design in this game. It's always like giving you like an unexpected coincidence. Like even now you could run through those 2 wings, but it doesn't really take you anywhere. So here I am trying to carefully platform my way down. And the thing about me is that I really love arches and cathedrals. And I really love, like, you know, I'm just having fun right now with the arches because I really love arches in video games. And it's still with that water. This water like really spooked me out through the whole dungeon because of that fish. I felt uneasy every time I was near water. I just wanted to get out of there. So I also got my coffee. I'm really glad I at least have time to do some voiceovers, because I'm really not gonna want to leave you guys in the dark. So I think for the next 3 videos, these are all gonna be voiceovers, because for one reason or another, I did not have the opportunity to record my voice when I streamed. And yes, those were bats. There's a point in the DLC where I realized that a lot of familiar faces are gonna make a return, including those bats. And a fun fact about those bats and me is that my first death in Dark Souls games at all, in Elden Ring, was with that bat, one of those bats. Because I tried to swing at him and it was just flying in the air, and then it attacked me in all directions in the air. Like, you're a leg person, I'm a wing person. I see you do not have 360 flight, so I'm just gonna take your first death. And this part was really cool, the lever. Check it out, guys. They done did it again. That is just so epic. The dungeon is literally getting flooded out. Isn't that just insane? It just makes you really realize the scale of like the games. It's like, is there anything that's not possible in a FromSoft game? If you saw a mountain and all of a sudden the mountain got up and had legs and moved away, I mean, that would not be surprising at this point. It's just ridiculous the amount of stuff that they're able to do. So now the water dungeon became an actual normal dungeon, which I was really not expecting. So of course, me just like trying to speedrun this area is just going for the grace points and moving on. I think for my next playthroughs, when I'm done with the DLC, I'll be doing like a more in-depth, you know, just the normal playthroughs. And there's a part where I saw the sentinel again, the tree, whatever it's called, the tree worm. I saw that, I'm like, oh no, I'm out. That's it. I'm out. I'm done. Later, just nope. I'm not gonna touch that, even if I wanted to. And here we are with the exploding corpses, the exploding zombies. It was pretty funny because we both got like hit by like explosions. Kind of backfired on him. Not really a smart mage, is he? And all these statues in this DLC are just gorgeous. They are really, I'm really a furniture guy, so I really appreciate like nice furniture. When I see a statue, I'm like, that looks like a nice piece to put in the yard. So right now I'm trying to like navigate. I have no idea where I'm going. I just know that I need to get to like the end of this. What? There you saw, I literally just jump off because I'm running through a jump to my death. So the fun fact about this dungeon and the reason I'm doing this quest line is because it's meant for like the boss battle summon, and like I said, but this quest is really, you know, a quest in itself, part of the game. And I kind of feel glad that I didn't like record the entire quest and just give it out to spoilers, but you know, the actual quest that I'm doing, which I'm like doing half of it, but like the actual quest is really awesome. I really loved it. It's probably my favorite thus far in the entire DLC. When you're doing the whole finger stars quest or whatever it's called, I really liked it. And yes, I did notice that this elevator was really going down. So a quick thing I will say about like the actual quests of like this dungeon is that you're gonna see later on that I actually messed up really bad, and it was not really my fault. I will say that. I will defend myself, and it was not my fault. Now this bridge was really epic. I did not really expect any fights over here. It's just like, it's just what FromSoft does best, is like doing gorgeous sceneries. Whoever does the level designs in FromSoft, where, you know, I tip my hat to you because they really got nice taste. And they really have a unique perspective in doing environments. It's like an art form, like literally like an art form. Like how are you able to do this in a video game? Like video games are costly. They need a lot of resources. How are you able to put in a whole cathedral and make it run so smoothly and make it so open world? You know, there are shortcuts. I already know the shortcuts that they did, but like unless like you're a dev, like you don't really notice those those cutbacks. So the thing that I'm doing right now is that I'm actually on the internet on another page. Because if you're trying to do a quest in Elden Ring, or I think this applies even in like regular Dark Souls games, like you really need like the internet to help you out, because the games are just so vague. As much as people want to praise Elden Ring and FromSoft, like it's not good to ignore the flaws that they have, which is a very vague quest system, that they don't even have any quest logs. Like, I know people complain about objective markers in other games, like it's so easy to like critique like Ubisoft for like their hand holding, but Elden Ring and Dark Souls games in general are the types of games that showcase the other extreme, the really bad extreme, where there's actually like zero hand holding. And whether you have zero hand holding in the quests or you have full hand holding, like they're both bad options, bad game mechanics. And I'm not shy enough to ignore that. I'll be like the first to acknowledge that I love Elden Ring and all its content, and I love the quest in the base game, but I've always hated the quest systems. I think they did a really horrible job. It was even in like one patch where they started putting the NPCs on the map that they weren't even there. It's so, the quests are so vague that if you do not go on Google and YouTube the step by step, or check out the wiki and go step by step, it's so easy to miss out and do a quest wrong, because Elden Ring never tells you, and that's just bad game design. It's not good. If you're able to miss out on a quest because you did not know, because you did not have enough direction or enough input, or because the devs just expect you to like go somewhere at this exact time, and if you don't go there, then you mess up everything, and you have to like beat the whole game in the whole circle and circle back all the way just to like do the quest right. It's just so horrible. Like, for example, with like with Vare, or with any NPC, if you miss out on talking to an NPC at a certain place, there's like a lot greater chance that you'll forever run the quest for that NPC if you advance too far into the game, or you do something else and you just like you miss out on the NPC. It's just really bad. So like Elden Ring is like a prime example of what happens when there's like zero hand holding, and it's really awful. And it's so vague that it's barely passable, because it's barely enjoyable, because the quests are good in Elden Ring. All the quests that they have are really good, really solid. They even have nice voice actors and all of them, nice writing. But they're just so like empty, for an RPG especially. It's just like the weakest of the weak. Like if you're someone that didn't like Skyrim questing, I would say like Elden Ring would be like worse. Like if you said Skyrim was like a worse quest system than Oblivion or Morrowind, then Elden Ring is really like in the worst of that. Because I would say like a good quest system, a really balanced quest system, would be like quests that you will find in The Witcher. And then like the middle area for like the hand holding, where it's really optional, not optional, is like in Skyrim and Bethesda games. And like the worst offender of them all is, I gotta put Elden Ring in the worst, because like they have really great quests, but it's just so vague. The so many problems with the quests and missing out and doing them wrong that you just have no idea. Like, you have no idea when you went wrong or why you went wrong. So here I am going back and doing this platforming because I'm literally like going like in between the game and on Google, looking at this guide and how to get through the dungeon, because I just went through the entire dungeon and I went to the other side, but I went to the other side in the wrong area. So I completely missed the door where the NPC was supposed to be at. So that's why I'm backtracking and doing all this jumping again. The thing that I do love about the Elden Ring level designs is that they have so many avenues, there are so many branches that you could go to, but it's just when you're doing quests that like the branches are really crucial, and if you miss one then you have to go all the way back. But when you're doing a normal playthrough and the first time around and you're just like exploring, it's really fun. But it's just a pain when you're doing quests, because if you're trying to do a quest and doing the dungeon at the first time, it's gonna be really hard to find your way around. Alright, so here I am at the final bridge. I finally found the area where I was supposed to go to. This whole place, man, is I love the design, but I need some quest directions at least. I do love this area though. It's very memorable. So in this part, it's pretty ironic because like I went through this whole quest and looking for that one NPC progression, and I think in this part I was looking for a statue. Oh my, where do I even begin? This statue, right, that you're supposed to find for this quest, you're supposed to do like a gesture in front of it, and then it moves away and it opens the area. And like, how is anyone in the right mind supposed to know? Like, in front of this specific statue, out of all the statues like in the map, out of all the dozens of statues, how are you supposed to know like in this place you're supposed to use this gesture? Like, it's just, they don't tell you. You never know. You have to go on Google. So like at the end of this quest, at the end of this dungeon, I found the statue, but before I found the statue, I found the boss. And the painful part about this boss is I didn't know it was optional. I thought it was part of the quest that I have to get past in order to progress to the statue. But the statue was right there. It was right outside of the boss. It was right next to like the boss entrance. How was I supposed to know? How did the game ever tell me like go to this statue? No, the game never tells you. So, quick fact, I didn't have for some reason I didn't capture a lot of footage, but just remember that like I died like at least 50 times. Just watch. As soon as you walk in, he's already storming at you, and you only have that one brief moment to jump in the directional left or right, not to the side, not to the left, but the directional. And this boss is so big and bulky that it's so janky with the camera. It's hard to read the movements, because like he has movements for like the sword, and he has movement for the boar, and it just like they are one and the same. And it's so frustrating because like I die like 50 times, at least like 50 times doing this boss, and most of it was just because I was getting rammed into like the entrance by the boar, because the boar will like pin you up to the wall. As you saw right there, a smooth dodge. I think this is probably like the last run, and I finally, finally said I had enough. So here I am with the mimic just going ham on this guy. First time also doing the pose break. I missed swing and I got hit by the recoil. So here I am running for my life because like at this point I don't trust any special attack. One thing that you'll see like in the final boss battles that I do is that at the last phase or at the last time that I'm doing the boss, I'm really conservative. I'm very careful about the health and like I'm not swinging as much. I'm just trying to like not to get hit. You're gonna see that in a lot of my like final boss fights. But here I am still getting hit by the boar. My idea from like in this fight was just getting close to him. Because if I got too far away, he will start like doing crazy combos. So my solution was just to get up close and like keep him like just swinging, and you know it'll be a lot easier to dodge when he's just doing melee. But I was so frustrated by the end. I went forward and I tried to go and look for like the statue, and it turns out I didn't even need to be in that area. Because like the statue is like before the boss fight, and the game never tells you. You're just gonna have to like. It's a secret, you know. It's like literal just secret. Oh my! This boss really like got me so annoyed that I just like stopped playing that whole day afterwards. So I went back and checked like a lot of the bloodstains, and I saw a lot of people like as myself that just like kept dying on the entrance. For some reason, like even if you try using torrent and like use a mount to run away, the boar is faster than you. You are not gonna run away from it unless you do like some crazy double jumps in the air before he attacks. But he is always gonna be faster than your horse, your mount. And like most of the time you're just gonna be dying at the entrance, because as soon as like he finishes the ram, he just goes all ham with like the boar kicks and all the stuff, and you never know. The thing about the DLC is that you never know. He could do combo after combo. He could ram and then ram again. He could ram and do like a whole chain attack, and then follow up with like 2 special attacks, and you just never know. It's RNG. It's randomness. There's no balance in the DLC and the way they make the games. It's just all, you know, they put the combos and like they never balance them out. They don't really put checks on the combos. So I finally finished the quest. I got to the last area. You're supposed to go. I'm not gonna show you like the whole spoiler of it, but you're supposed to go back to like the main quest giver. But the thing is, like, I did this whole quest as intended, but I actually messed up, and I didn't know I messed up. Cause like at the end of this quest, you click on an item, right, and it transports you to a boss battle. So what's your intuition? Your intuition is that, all right, it's time for a boss fight. But it's wrong. You go like. You click on the final item, you go to the boss battle, but you're not actually supposed to fight the boss. You're supposed to like get out of there and not harm it or something. Because right now I'm being attacked. Even though I had like no idea. I had no idea of knowing. The game literally guided me to like the boss battle. And like, alright, and it's time for a boss, so it's time to fight. Cause like the game like placed me there at the end of the quest, and I come back to like the main area where I was, and now that the game tells me, oh no, you messed up, everyone's attacking you. And there's a point where I was so like frustrated because like I failed the quest, and like the NPC is not gonna help me out now. She like, I did not want to attack her, but here it is. No turning back. Cause like Elden Ring does automatic saves. You can't backtrack. You know what's the way you could backtrack in an Elden Ring game? If you do the whole story again. If you go to New Game Plus and like go a full walk around the world. Just to like correct your mistakes. And I will say that I loved this quest. But I just hate it. I detest so much about like how it doesn't give you any like perception about, you know, that you might be able to fail it if you do this.
Grant me a mother's strength. Look here at my fingers. I will be the true mother, and I will be the only.
I will say that this guy really did have a lot of. He was pretty tanky for a sorcerer. He must be like a level 50 wizard in Magic the Gathering. Probably has his own blog too. How many followers does he have? Probably has like 100k YouTube followers.
My dear child. Forgive me, Yuri.
So all in all, I would say like I would give the quest a 10 out of 10, so long as you do it correctly. Because for my personal experience, like this was the most memorable quest that I liked in the DLC. But because I did it wrong, apparently, I would only give it a 9 out of 10. But it wasn't my fault. That's the thing. It wasn't my fault that I did it wrong. I was guided to like the boss battle. But anyway, you learn and move on. But it's just so horrible that the quest can be so vague.